So what number makes negative 7 plus what equal negative 11 a true equation? That would be negative 4, because negative 7 plus negative 4, same signs, add and keep the sign. Then which of the following does not equal negative 9? Well, here you're going to have to do each one of these problems. This would be KCC, so this would be 13. And this, if you use the x diva, that's going to be positive 9. So there's actually two that don't equal negative 9 there. The next one, which has a different answer from the other, so you'll have to solve all of these. Again, x diva for negative 15, x diva for 15. This different signs, subtract and take the sign of the larger number. This is KCC, where you're going to do that and take the, because then they both have the same signs, add and keep the sign. So the one that doesn't have the same would be this one. In this problem, which I'm trying to show you as much of it as I can, it's asking what is modeled. You do have a key, positive and negative. Here you have positive 3. Added to that, you've got negative 5. And this is showing because of the zeroed pairs that you're left with negative 2. So the answer that you would want to circle, 3 plus negative 5 equals negative 2. This one is a multiplication problem where you've got, using that same key that you had up here, negative 2 taken 4 times, that's going to give you negative 8. Now, the one that's answered here is actually 4 times negative 2 equals negative 8, but they both mean the same thing. Next page. Which model represents negative 5 plus 2? Well, remember that for the first number, you have to start at 0 and get to negative 5. This one only gets to negative 2, so I know it's not that one. 0 to negative 5, then I add to it 2, and that gives me the answer of negative 3. I really like B so far. This one is negative 5 minus 2. That one's not it. And this one is negative 5. And then a positive 2 at the other end. Remember that they have to start at where the first one ends. So that one's not it either. It is B. Number 4, this is a multiplication expression. This has negative 5 being taken in 3 groups to get to the answer, which would be negative 15. So negative 5 times 3. Okay, so this would be this answer because this says 3 times negative 5, though it essentially means the same thing. This next problem, I'm going to have to zoom out just a second. All right, so let's see if we can get that. Ooh, just a little better. Ooh. Excuse the jiggling. I'm using a new camera. Due to erosion, a shoreline decreases 3 centimeters, that'd be negative 3 each year. What is the change after 15 years at that same rate? Well, that would give you x diva, negative 45 centimeters. In the morning, if the temperature was negative 8 degrees, on a thermometer, if I have 0 and it was negative 8 degrees, it would be below it. If it went up 15 degrees, what's the new temperature? So I'd have negative 8 plus 15, different signs, subtract and take the sign of the larger number, which would be 15, so it would be positive. So you get 7 degrees Fahrenheit. Next page. In this case, the temperature dropped 15 degrees, then rose 9 degrees. So the total change in temperature would be negative 4 degrees Fahrenheit. An architectural drawing of a building shows the elevation of the basement floor. So I've got a house, and I've got a basement that's down here below the ground to be negative 12 feet. The roof is 32 feet right here. So it wants to know what is the total distance. So I take the 32 minus the negative 12 to find out what is the total distance. Keep change, change. I'll get 48 feet. One day in December, the temperature at 2 a.m. was 18 degrees. But at the top of Afton Mountain, it was a negative 4 degrees. What is the difference? And remember, difference means subtract. So again, I'm going to KCC, and I'll get 22 degrees, and I'm sure that this is in Fahrenheit. It might be in Celsius, I don't know. All right, for the rest of these. For these, remember your song, same signs, add and keep. For this, I need to take key CC. For this would be X diva. Again, X diva. Same signs, add and keep. Different signs, subtract and take the sign of the larger number. This is subtraction, so I KCC, I'll get negative 11. X diva, also X diva, KCC, X diva, and then KCC. Same signs, add and keep. For the NASCAR, a driver is docked 25 points, so that's a negative 25 points for each rule violation. What integer represents the change in points after 3 rule violations? That would be negative 75 points. A scuba diver dives down 20 feet into the ocean. That would be negative 20 feet. Then he swims. All right, so we went down 20 feet. Then he swims back up 11 feet toward the surface. What's the position now? So it'd be negative 20 plus 11. Different signs, subtract and take the sign of the larger number. So that's where he is relative to the surface. He is 9 feet below the surface. Next page. A female grizzly bear loses 300 pounds after hibernating for 6 months. What is the mean or average change in weight per month? So loses 300 pounds would be negative 300 divided by 6 months. That's going to get you negative 50 pounds per month. X diva. Model 3 times negative 4 on this number line. So I start here, I go negative 4, and I'm going to do that 3 times till I get to my answer, which is negative 12. Model 3 plus negative 8. So I start here at 0 and I go to the 3. Then I start at the 3 and I've got to go negative 8. So that's negative 3 plus I have to go negative 5 more, and this is going to be my answer, negative 5. Remember that absolute value means plus or minus inside the road is going to be positive on the outside. Distance is always positive, so absolute value is always positive. So which of these are true statements? This one's true, that one's not true. This one's true, that one's not true. So given the numbers 10 and negative 2, and keeping the numbers in that order, what's the smallest number that you can make using any operation? Well, if you do 10 times negative 2, you're going to get negative 20. Now all the others, like 10 plus negative 2, 10 minus negative 2, 10 divided by negative 2, none of those are going to give you any smaller value. That's the largest value. What's the largest number that you can make? That would be 10 minus negative 2, because I've got a KCC, and that'll end up being 12.